Woo!
Very nice.
Dude, I want to start the podcast off with a heater. With a heater.
With a heater?
With a heater. Not the beer, but just a question.
Okay, let's hear it.
Overrated or underrated? Boneless chicken wings.
I personally don't hear a lot of people hyping up boneless chicken wings.
Damn, you need to keep your ear to the street then, dude.
Do they really? Is
Dude.
that like a big thing?
People-
Oh, dang, you got the fat tires.
I did.
Okay. Like, are down for boneless chicken wings?
I think boneless
Thank you.
chicken wings are so fucking overrated. It's just a glorified chicken nugget.
Yeah, I can
That's
agree
really
with that.
what it is.
Yeah, I was going to
Like,
say, because I certainly prefer regular wings.
dude, people swear they're like, oh yeah, boneless wings are the best because you can just dunk them in the sauce and blah, 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 and your ranch or whatever. Yeah, that's fucking cool. Go ahead. Dunk them in your fucking ranch.
Call them what they are, though.
Yeah, it's just a fucking chicken nugget,
nuggets,
you
yeah.
know?
I think it's just like it's like an adult version of chicken nuggets. They're like, no, these aren't nuggets, bro. They're boneless wings.
And like, you know, like if you want to eat a wing, eat a fucking wing, but don't piss on me and tell me it's raining, you know, when you're like, oh, I'm gonna get some wings, bro, and then you just get some fucking you just get some fucking chicken nuggets, basically.
That was too funny, bro. You almost killed me.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Dude, we haven't pulled these out in a minute.
I was happy to see them when I walked in right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I'll say overrated as well, because there's no, if you're gonna eat wings, you shouldn't
Just eat wings.
just eat wings. Like, half of the fun is kind of like picking everything off the bone anyways, I feel like, you know? So I don't know.
And just say you're a pussy. Just say you're a pussy and you can't eat fucking regular wings. That's okay.
It's
like,
okay.
just be honest with yourself and be honest with the people around you.
It's okay
all
if
right?
you're just a little guy who wants his little chicken nuggets.
It's all good. Just say you want some chicken nuggets. I won't judge you. I like a good chicken
I
nugget.
do too. I fuck with chicken nuggets big time, man.
But yeah, don't trick me when you're saying, "Oh, I'm gonna get some wings, bro."
Yeah.
And there's no bones in there.
Nah. It doesn't make any sense. It's just illogical.
You know what else I want to do this podcast?
Huh?
Let's not say pause anytime.
Okay. What happens if we say something that
Just,
demands a pause?
You gotta finish your
You
beer.
just gotta go with.
Yeah,
you gotta
you gotta
just chug
chug
the
your
beer.
beer. Yeah.
Okay. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Let's go. I'm just gonna say all kinds of shit so I can get drunk real quick.
I'm gonna whip out some crazy ones, honestly.
Dang, we're gonna be chugging them, knocking them back today, bro.
But yeah, guys, what's going on? If you don't know what this is, and if you do know what this is, regardless of your knowledge of what this is, I'm gonna tell you what this is.
That's right.
This is Too High for TV, where two guys get too high and talk about a little bit too much TV. If this is your first time ever listening, hello,
How's it going?
welcome.
Hi.
Nice to have you here.
Most definitely.
I hope you're, if you're driving, I hope you're paying attention to the road.
Yes, please just be listening.
If you're like the type of person that's like, I can't clean unless I listen to a podcast, but then you don't really clean because you get stuck listening to a podcast.
Maybe prioritize the cleaning.
Take a pause. You know, clean your room a little bit. It's all good. I mean,
We'll still be here.
I gotta clean my room, but it's all good.
We're
It's all
always
good.
accessible.
We're here to help.
We're not
here to
going
help.
anywhere.
And if you're wondering who we are, what we do, and where we're from, I can answer 2 out of those 3 questions for you. I will not say where we're from, even though we probably have said it here on the podcast.
That's true, yeah.
But I'll tell you who I am. I am one of your hosts, Ryan.
I'm your other host, Daniel.
And yeah, basically we sit down. We're a couple guys, as most podcasts are.
Yeah,
right?
this is true.
It's mostly just a couple dudes.
Couple of guys.
Yeah, the podcast landscape is for sure a sausage fest.
Yeah.
With, women sprinkled out in there. We basically sit down, we pick some movies, pick some TV shows, pick some music, maybe
So some hot topics.
You
know,
no
Not
clothing
Zoomies.
store.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we sit down, we talk about them. We give our insight as the casual consumer.
And high art critics that we are.
Exactly.
We're certified. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, and I mean, we don't just talk about movies, TVs, games, and all that. We also talk about science.
Yeah.
We talk about mathematics.
Definitely.
We talk about English and language arts.
Big time. 100%.
We're big history buffs, so we're always pulling out the historical facts.
I love history. Napoleon.
What else? Yeah, exactly.
Caesar.
Napoleon. Yeah. Genghis Khan.
Followed the Roman Empire.
Yep. Pangea.
Pangea.
That's the big one. And yeah, we do a whole other bunch of stuff. Whole other bunch of things. I don't think a whole other bunch of stuff
I like it.
was right.
That sounds nice to me, but
Yeah.
even though we talk about English, it doesn't mean we talk about it correctly.
Exactly. We just talk about it.
We just talk about it.
And yeah, so thank you guys for if you clicked on this podcast, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot.
Yeah,
We
you're the
appreciate
best.
it. We appreciate it.
You're the reason why we do it, kind of.
Yeah, not really.
Yeah,
but,
we just have fun anyway.
Yeah, we just like to do this. And yeah, happy 420 as well.
Yeah,
it's 420 today.
That's right.
So we're definitely gonna be smoking fat on this episode. I mean, I'm gonna be smoking fat. I don't know how much you're gonna keep up.
I'll take a couple of rips for sure.
I won't force you into keeping up, but I'm definitely gonna get
baked.
Pretty obliterated on this episode.
Makes sense. Kind of have to.
Yeah, it is 420 when we're recording this. It's not gonna be 420 when we put it out, but it'll still be 420 vibes. You know,
that's right. Exactly.
Bring the 420 vibes. 24/7 365.
Whoa, that was nice. It sounded nice. I like that. It's also you could stretch it. It's 420 all week, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you have till the 29th to celebrate.
We were in taking an order, and the dude was leaving, and it's just later, dude. Have a good one. Drive safe out there. And I was like, oh, have a good 420. And he's all, it's 420 every day, bro. And I was like, hey, you know what? You're not fucking wrong, dude. You're not fucking wrong. But yeah, it's fucking 420. So hope you guys had a good one. Hope you guys smoked up fat.
Yeah.
Hope you guys, while you were enjoying whatever festivities you went to, also kept in mind, there is a good fight to fight within the cannabis community still, right? You can't let your mind get clouded by the big corporate chads that are trying to do their shit out there and take your mind away from the fact that there are regular people and there are people out there that get thrown in jail for this shit for no good fucking reason, and it's fucking terrible.
Basically, most other states in America still, that's illegal as fuck.
Yeah. So like it's easy to turn a blind eye, I guess, when you're in California and it is so it's just normal, right? Exactly. It is pretty normal, but we can't forget, guys. So do what you can, donate, advocate, vote.
There's weed brands that do try to do some good work about that stuff. Like, what was that one, Farmer and the Felon?
Yeah, Farmer and the Felon.
Yeah, I think like some of their proceeds go to like trying to find work for like ex-cons and stuff like that.
I would also hit up the Last Prisoner Project. They are always doing a lot of great things. There's a lot of great articles you can read on there. There's a lot of great stories that they tell through their Instagram page and through their websites and stuff like that. So always remember,
check it out.
Fight the good fight.
Look a little deeper.
Yeah.
Have you seen that video of like that kid who like looks kind of nerdy or whatever, and there's like these dudes interviewing him, but he just has like the craziest life advice like of all time?
No.
I forget exactly what he says, but it like at the end of it, some dude like walks past them, and like the interviewer guy's like, really? While we're filming a video? He's like, what the heck? He's like, he just doesn't care. And he's like, he's probably just living at the surface level, man. And he's like, if you never go deeper than surface level, you'll never find anything of worth or some shit like that. It's like, whoa, that's dude. Crazy. Like, whoa.
Dude, you know what I'm gonna whip out right now?
Oh,
the vibrator.
That was. Oh, hey, I think that might be a drink, bro.
I did say the word though, brother.
Fair enough. That thing trips me out, dude. I'm not gonna lie. It's just
wrong.
It's just unsettling.
It's
like,
wrong.
It just doesn't feel. It feels.
It's right, but it's wrong.
Feels just unnecessary. I wonder what the thinking behind that was.
So, Diggs was looking it up.
While
we were waiting for you, and so apparently, the vibration is for. Oh, what the.
Ah! Here, you want to hand me the tray? Yeah. We're falling apart over here. Everything's coming apart.
Fall apart. That Post Malone song?
I don't know if I've heard that one. Oh, hello.
Oh yeah, because I have this like
nice and loose.
Nice and loosey goosey.
You gotta have it a little loose so you have leeway to like move back and forth. Just a little bit, so you can reposition and get comfortable.
Should be good.
And there we go.
Should be good.
Put it back into business.
But okay, so the vibration is for one, so you know it works, right? So you know it's working.
Okay.
And then also, what the vibration does is it helps keep the mouthpiece clear and keeps it from clogging up because of the vibration. So the vibration is like keeping the wax
from like
clogging,
sticking on the okay, all right,
which is pretty cool.
Yeah, if that actually works, then that is nice. I'm down for that. That is like my number one complaint about cartridges.
And I guess if you're blind too, then it helps you out, right? With the vibration, you know it's working.
That was like the first thought that came to my mind, but I was like, no way, that's what they made it for. Like
for blind people.
I mean maybe, but who knows? But okay, I fucks with that about how it's like supposed to help keeping it from getting clogged. Because that is probably the most annoying part about pens.
Yeah.
That little pop that you have to do when it's just like stuck. Yeah.
And sometimes you just get the wax in your freaking.
Yeah, because you're pulling it up through the mouthpiece, like when you're trying to rip it. So it is annoying.
All right, I'm gonna roll a pretty nice one.
Pretty big chonker.
But yeah, man, how you doing? You're getting ready for a show. Is that right?
Yes, that is correct. I will be playing tomorrow at 1:30. Which, I mean, you're not at this. By the time this gets out,
It won't be tomorrow.
this will be like last weekend
Yeah.
probably. But yeah, I'm excited. It's nothing like too crazy. The teatro does this thing every once in a while called Family Day, and it's just like a little festival's the wrong word, like carnival type deal, I guess. Where like there's games, they have food. There's gonna be like a taco truck out there.
Always down
I think
for
they
taco
have
truck.
like a couple of prizes and stuff here and there. I think there's like a raffle maybe, and then like live performances. And,
Nice.
Luckily enough, I was asked to do my little 30-minute set.
Fuck yeah.
So yeah, we had a couple rehearsals this last week. Still sounded good. Just kind of dusted off the rust a little bit,
Oh yeah.
It's feeling good, man.
What time do you play?
1:30.
Okay.
Yeah, the event starts at 12. So I'll probably be out there munching on some food, chilling, maybe play a couple games or whatever.
Okay.
But then, yeah, we'll be chilling. Hopefully it's just not too hot. That's the one thing I'm worried about.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I got real sweaty when it was nighttime inside. So I can only imagine, like, what the sweat levels are going to be if it's, like, the beating sun down on us.
So are you playing outside?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're going old school farm worker style, bro. We're going to be on the back of the truck bed. Dude.
Damn. There you go.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. I'm excited.
Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm excited. It's gonna be fun. It was a good week too. Got to go see some Spider-Man.
Fuck, dude, that was so badass.
Absolutely amazing. Honestly, I kind of lost my shit.
It was great. So it's what, the 22nd anniversary for Spider-Man 1?
Yeah, I think so, man.
Because it's like the 20th anniversary for Spider-Man 2.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Yeah, okay.
So they are released. Each Spider-Man's gonna be released in like select theaters, right? It's not gonna be in every single theater.
Yeah. Very quickly too. I think it's like one per week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So us being big Spider-Man fans that we are, right?
Of course.
We all went. Me, Daniel, Diggs, who's been on the podcast, and Daniel's dad, who you've heard about on the podcast before.
Yes.
So yeah, we all went, watched some Spider-Man, some Sam Raimi, Tobey Maguire, Kirsten Dunst, James Franco, Willem Dafoe, Spider-Man.
Crazy cast.
Dude, so good.
Still a killer movie, honestly, man. I was pretty, like, I knew I was gonna have a good time, obviously, but I was very surprised as to like how much a lot of that stuff still hit for me, and like it was just way different seeing it on the big screen.
Yeah, because I saw it when I was little, but I don't remember it.
Yeah, same.
All I remember is getting a headache in that movie.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
I used to get headache. I mean, I still get headaches, but when I was younger, I used to get headaches like during movies and stuff like that.
Huh.
And I was talking to my mom, and maybe it was because I needed glasses.
Oh, you
like
didn't
back
have them
then.
yet.
I just didn't have them.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, so my like memories of watching that are always just on like a TV at home. So getting to see that on the big screen the way it was intended, hearing the score, having an audience that was,
hella down. I think we got lucky on that front too.
Exactly, because I felt like all the stuff, like the cheesy, corny stuff that me, you, and Diggs were laughing at, like everybody else was laughing at, which is always good because it like. Not that I wouldn't laugh at it, but I would hate to like be that one guy that everyone's like, fuck, these guys just keep fucking laughing, but it's like you can't help it. There's so many moments in that are just so of the times that you can't help but laugh.
Well, it's just great too because it's like it was such a fun, like almost like meta experience a little bit because like that movie is iconic all these 20 years later and has spawned countless memes and jokes and funny scenes that people have like paid attention to and whatnot. So to like sit with an audience all those years later in the theater and have it almost be like this like cult type following of it where it's like I'm something of a scientist myself. Like the fact that like everybody in the theater was like, yeah, fuck yeah, there it is, dude, was hilarious, man. Like that shit's just too good.
Go grab a lighter real quick.
Oh no.
Keep going. Keep talking.
Yeah.
Keep talking about Spider-Man.
Oh, I could do that all day, man. I could do this all day. No, but it was amazing. I think that it's definitely a lot of the times I will try to go and say that like you should go to the movies because that's how it's intended and whatnot. But I think for a lot of stuff you can kind of get away with it as long as you have like a good enough TV, and then you need to have really good sound is what I would say. But this was a different beast actually getting to see it, because this is for sure one of my favorite movies. Obviously, I'm a pretty ridiculously huge Spider-Man fan. He's probably my favorite character of all time. So getting to experience the first, well, not technically the first ever live action, but the first good live action version of Spider-Man, the way that it was supposed to be was pretty crazy. Like, swinging scenes were just like on a whole nother level. I think it gave me like a new appreciation for like how they did the swinging in this movie.
So good.
Yeah, like I always loved it, and I've seen the behind the scenes stuff of like, you know, how they fucking sent cameras flying down like whole blocks and shit in New York to like get the scenes and stuff. But like, again, it feels different. Like, I feel like you just get a different appreciation for it when you see all that on the big ass screen, man. Like, it is like visceral, dude. Like, it's probably the best swinging out of any of the franchises, I would say. Having some headphone difficulties. Check. I
can only hear out of one.
Oh, one of the ears.
Yeah.
She's being jankaroonie dooney.
I think so. Can you hear out of both sides?
Oh no, I can't actually. Check on the back of the thing. There might be a little switch on the box right there. Make sure it's like on stereo or something like that.
It is on stereo.
Try switching into the other one.
Mono?
Yeah, there we go.
Okay.
Yeah, we're back in business again. That's weird. That makes no sense. Why would it give us both ears on the mono setting?
I don't know.
Whatever.
Technical difficulty.
Whatever. That's literally completely opposite, but it's fine.
Dude.
Actually, I guess technically not.
Even like the stuff that happened last week when I was like editing the last episode 97.
Oh,
like,
yeah, that's right.
The fact that there was just like 10 or 15 seconds that were just missing
Just gone.
from
Yeah.
the audio, and
Yeah.
like I don't even know where the fuck they went.
Just gremlins in the system, man.
Yeah, so
Sometimes you just got ghosts in the system.
I guess so.
Yeah. But yeah, it was an incredible experience. I had a fantastic time. I was overwhelmed and had tears in my eyes for like probably 75% of the movie. But it was epic. I can't wait to go see 2.
It was awesome, dude. I felt like a kid again for sure going to watch it.
Yeah.
And yeah, like I mean, I don't know what you were saying, but yeah, like it is cheesy and it is like a 2000s freaking movie for sure, but it like that's just, I think that's the
sign of the times.
The sign of the times, but that's also the charm of the movie as well.
Yeah, I think it's intentional.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think it's like, a lot of the times you just have, I don't want to say bad writing, because like, you know, I enjoy cheesy stuff. And I think even both of us will like enjoy a good cheesy 2000s movie.
Yeah.
Just because like, you know, that's what we grew up with and stuff. But a lot of the times it feels like it works for Peter in the movie, I think, because he kind of is a cheesy guy, you know? Like, Spider-Man's jokes are like clever, but they're kind of dad jokes at the end of the day. Even the best Spider-Man jokes, you know? Like, they're pretty cheesy stuff.
I always appreciate a good dad joke, honestly.
I do too.
I'm a sucker for a good dad joke.
I heard this one. There's, you know, those dudes that like just, it's like 3 or 4 of them, and they just sit and tell each other dad jokes on YouTube. Okay, there's these guys who do that, and lately they've been doing their usual shtick, but they put like those AI like mask things, but it's like a full body one, and they're aliens like telling each other dad jokes or whatever, but they're still just regular ones. But I heard this one the other day where what did he say? He's like, my wife asked me to go to the store and pick up a 6-pack of Pepsi. I picked 7-Up instead. Like, this is terrible, but I love that shit.
That's funny, dude.
Gotta love a good dad joke, man.
But yeah, Spider-Man was fucking great. Man, like, I don't know. It was a trip seeing all of those actors being relatively young, you know, like Toby pretty early. I mean, not like early on in his career. He's had a pretty long career, but like, you
he's
know,
in his 20s though.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like seeing them all like pretty baby faced was pretty funny. And also like, we're going to talk about Civil War today. So Kirsten Dunst in Civil War, where she's very like a grizzled, toughened, like hardened photojournalist. Yeah. And in Spider-Man, she's just like this happy-go-lucky freaking just teenager MJ.
I was thinking the same thing, bro. It was a trip.
It was like so much of a trip.
Whiplash, bro. Like back and forth between those two, because there's such vastly different like personalities for sure.
But everything was good. Like the swinging, I thought was really, really good.
Yeah, I was surprised by a lot of the effects.
Yeah, the effects, like obviously they're pretty noticeable if you compare them to like stuff that we see today.
Yeah.
But they weren't bad.
No,
you know?
I think
I wouldn't say any of them were like terrible.
No,
you know?
I think honestly everything when he's in like that actual suit is good. Like I think the only time for me that it looked kind of janky was when they were doing either him like in his regular clothes or even like the scene when they use CGI when he's still in like the wrestler suit. It can look kind of iffy. But honestly, like once he gets like the, you know, the Raimi suit, like I think everything looks pretty damn good. Like there's
really
hardly
good,
anything that like is jank. Green Goblin looks a little jank from time to time.
Yeah.
But it's not bad, dude. It's not bad at all. I've seen stuff nowadays that is like on par with that.
Yeah.
So like that's crazy. That's 20 years ago.
Yeah. Willem Dafoe was so good, dude. Like I hadn't watched
Absolutely
this
killed
movie in a cool minute, so it was nice to see it and be very like I wouldn't say like surprised by his performance, but just in awe of like the performance that he gave for a superhero movie, right? Like, you know, I think especially back then, it probably would have been pretty easy to be like, all right, I'm just going to get like, you know,
phone it in.
Yeah, just phone it in, get a nice little paycheck, you know. And J.K. Simmons as well as fucking J. Jonah. Dude, he's so fucking funny, bro.
Best,
like,
dude.
he, like, if you want to talk about someone that really is giving it their all and really creating a character, like, he is fucking doing that. Because when I think of J. Jonah Jameson, I think of that. Like, that he immediately fucking pops into my head.
Top 3 castings of all time for superhero media. Chris Evans is Captain America. Robert Downey Jr. is Iron Man. J.K. Simmons is J. Jonah Jameson.
Yeah, dude. Like, he like perfectly embodies that character. Like really his voice is freaking hilarious. All his like quippy little fucking jokes that he has for everybody is like, it's just so fucking good, dude. Like, is it the writing? Is it him? Like, it's a mix of both, right? Like, he's delivering those lines and he's delivering them very, very well. And the lines are obviously pretty well written. So it was fucking good, dude.
I was tripping too, because like I forget, maybe it was like I don't think they did press for Invincible. I don't know. It was something. He was getting interviewed like relatively recently, within the last year, and somebody was asking him about like how they did the J. Jonah Jameson stuff in, I think he shows up for the first time in Far From Home, right? Like that new MCU version, right?
Yeah.
And it's crazy because like that role, the original one, is so iconic to me that I assume like so much work went into it. But he's talking about it, and like they filmed everything of Jonah's parts in like 3 days. Really? Yeah, because when you think about it, he's not in the movie a ton. They're probably just going to shoot all of that stuff in order. Or not in order, sorry, but like get all of his stuff out of the way, right? They're not going to call him back every few weeks.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was like, I think he said they did like 3 to 5 days or something like that.
In the original Spider-Man?
Yeah, like of filming.
Damn.
That's all it took, which is just like a trip to me, right? Like the fact that such an iconic performance and like casting and character was made in like less than a week.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, development obviously went into it, but the acting stuff.
Yeah, he must have just been like knocking it out of the park, dude. I would have loved to have just seen that.
Just be a fly on the wall during his fucking takes, dude.
Like, how many takes did each scene fucking take, you know?
I wonder, and I also hope that like he probably threw some stuff in there as well. Like Sam Raimi and I think his brother or whatever the team is that like usually writes the stuff that he does, super clever. Like I like a lot of the jokes that they have most of the time. But I like to believe that some of that is just coming from JK.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Dude, I also loved the fucking editing, bro. Like, the editing of the scenes is pretty fucking hilarious.
Yeah. Like how there's like all the over...
Yeah, like the cross dissolves, like the classic... Like, just a super classic editing style that is, like... not that you don't see it nowadays, but it is very much like... If you see it nowadays, it's like, oh, like, that's...
Yeah, it's like too much, kind of.
Yeah, but, like, that was so, like, just perfect for the movie. Or even, like, the scene where... Spider-Man and Green Goblin fight the second time, like in the burning building.
Oh yeah.
And it fades from like it closes up on freaking Green Goblin's face, and then the flames like overtake it, and then it fades that way, and it like goes into the next scene through that. I thought that was really clever.
I like the one that cracked me up was when he's like looking at the cars, the like ads for the cars, and then like a like little like thing, like cartoon ass like circle just pops up on the screen of Mary Jane just like smiling, and he's like, I have to get a car.
Or like when he's drawing his fucking
Yeah,
costume. And my favorite one is, you know, he's drawing it and you have like all the stuff, like the montage going off on like the side, like faded in. And he just writes out symbol ?
Yeah, those notes are hilarious, dude.
Like that is a great form of brainstorming, right?
Yeah.
Like that is proper brainstorming.
Yeah.
You write down symbol ? Circle it, and you got a little branch off. What am I gonna do? But it's just funny.
It's also hilarious because like he's sinking like maybe tons of time, I assume, into like these really good like concept arts for his suits. And then he's just writing like one note at the top of it. Like the next one is like needs color.
Yeah.
It's like exclamation point.
Yeah. I could have told you it needed freaking color. Another one of my favorite editing moments where it wasn't even like there was no fade into it or anything, but it's when he figures out like his webs for the first time.
Oh yeah.
And he swings and he hits the that went out. That was crazy.
She died.
And it hits the freaking he hits the billboard.
Yeah.
And then he slides down, and then it immediately cuts to him just running home.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like good comedic shit, dude.
Technical difficulties.
I know. What's up, man? There's like a few gremlins hanging out today, man. Maybe it is. They're like, nah, chill out. Did it die? Oh no, it just went off. Is there an auto timer on that thing? Like a sleep mode or something?
No, not that I know of.
She's just being jank today, man.
Yeah.
Just
I don't know.
Espiritus in the air, bro.
Couldn't really fucking tell you.
It's all right. Roll with the punches, man. Maybe that's what it is. It's the 420 spirit, like trying to throw stuff at us and being like, "It's cool, man.
You're not gonna throw us off our game.
Just roll with it, dog."
Dude, on Call of Duty, they just released a Cheech and Chong pack for
God.
420.
That's funny.
Totally bought that shit.
Yeah.
Because you can play as either Cheech or Chong.
Uh-huh.
And there's 2 guns that come in the pack.
Mm-hmm.
When you use them and you kill somebody, it has like an animation and it like turns them into like a joint.
Oh, sick.
It's fucking hella funny.
That's good shit.
And then they have like an assassination where you go up behind someone and they take a hit of a joint and then they blow it through their gun and then the person just dies.
Oh, sick. That's
really
clean. Damn, that's such a trip, dude. Like, I can only imagine like how crazy that must be to like see yourself fucking animated doing all that crazy shit or whatever, you know?
Dude, it's funny because Cheech is just fucking ripped too. Like that fool's hella big.
That's funny.
He's just like standing there, his back's hella big, like fool's got big ass fucking arms, and I'm just like, dude, this fool's fucking ripped.
I wonder if that was like a choice on like Call of Duty's part, or if they like, I mean, I assume they at least consulted with like some of his people, right?
I feel like in their movie he is like pretty built back then.
Okay, yeah. So it's just accurate representation.
But even like on Call of Duty, he just looks big, bro.
Yeah.
Like I was like sitting there tripping out, like, damn, like this fool like looks big.
That shit's funny, dude.
And not that Chong doesn't look big, but like he's wearing a long sleeve shirt, so I guess you can't really tell.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas Cheech is just wearing his fucking
He's got the
his
little
yellow
tank
tank top.
Yeah.
So he's just fucking just a little big, just fucking.
That's funny, dude.
But yeah, Spider-Man was fucking.
It was really
amazing. Good. Danny Elfman's score. Hearing that in theaters was fucking
insane.
sick, bro.
Absolutely insane.
So fucking sick.
Yeah, definitely. It's just on a whole nother level, I think, when you see stuff in the movies and like, I don't know, I forget that a lot. That's what I was saying earlier. Is like I think you could get away with like a good screen at home, you know, but like sound is what's most important. And like at least recently, like what I've been feeling is it's hard to emulate like movie theater sound because everything's just like so big and it's all surround sound and shit. And yeah, it made all of the difference when you hear him fucking ripping through the streets and you hear all the fucking like honking coming by and shit. Yeah. That shit goes hard, bro. I love it. It's so good.
It was hella good, bro.
Just old school epic like scoring too, you know, like, and we've had that conversation before, right? Of like I've found that like movie scores tend to just kind of duck under the surface a lot of the times now. But that shit is like that old school, like big, loud, bombastic, like, nah, motherfucker. This is part of it right here.
Because like you get in the beginning, like the intro, like a classic intro that
little
you don't.
bongos or congas. Like
yeah. And you don't really see like intros to movies like that
No.
anymore, where it's like,
They have like animations and like everybody's name comes up in webs.
yeah, it was that shit's fucking sick.
Yeah,
bro.
dude.
That shit's really fucking cool.
I like how he's like, there's like a model of him in like the shadows, and like he doesn't have the webs on him, but he's like punching the webs that like have the names, and it's like going on to make the suit. It's like, damn, that's so fun. Like that's so creative. Like, why not do that shit? You know,
A nice stylistic choice that like
Yeah.
sets itself apart. It feels very comic booky too.
100%. Yeah.
Like I really like that. And then I mean, some of the cheesiest moments, like his intro like speech or whatever,
It's hilarious.
you know, it's fucking funny.
Who am I? Are you sure
Sure
you
you
want to
wanna
know? That's so good, dude.
Or even when Aunt May's in the hospital and MJ's there and she's like telling him how she has like a crush on Spider-Man and
Yeah.
shit like that, and
Yeah.
he's like, well, I'm like his friend, you know, blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah. Like I was a photographer, I take his pictures for
Yeah.
him. And she's like, has he like said anything about me? And he's
That-
like
yeah,
sitting there and
yeah.
like that shit's so fucking funny, dude. That shit was so cheesy, but it was so fucking good, dude. It was so good.
He asked me about what I thought about you, and I said, well, Spider-Man. Like obviously the first time he's had to lie to somebody about that shit, and he's just like figuring it out as he goes. It's hilarious, dude.
That shit's funny that she's like, did he say anything about me? It's like, bro, this fool's like literally fighting crime like
Yeah.
all the fucking time.
Yeah.
And he's just gonna be there and be like, you know that redheaded girl,
Yeah.
MJ. So what's up?
To be fair,
there.
they made out upside down.
They did.
You
They
would
did.
probably
They did.
remember that, even
True.
if you were Spider-Man.
Yeah, very true. Very true. I'll give him that.
But yeah, that show, that it is funny though, dude. It's the romance stuff that they have going on in this is still kind of annoying. It's not as bad as I think the next two movies. 2 I think is still like relatively okay. It's still annoying. But then 3 is where shit just like gets too crazy. But there's already hints of it in this one for sure. Yeah. It's not the strong suit of this trilogy.
I like when he first gets his powers and he's like trying to go to like the bus stop and he like sees her and he's like walking behind her.
Yeah.
And then she stops and he stops and he's trying to figure out how he's gonna say to her. He's like, hi MJ. Hey MJ.
Yeah, dude. It's great.
You know, I've been your neighbor for a long time.
Yeah.
And I was wondering if, maybe sometime you wanted to like.
Yeah.
And he just like keeps saying that to himself as he's watching her like get into the car.
Walk away. He's like,
doesn't say anything.
okay, maybe some other time.
So fucking funny, dude.
Yeah, it feels very old school classic, like Spider-Man Peter Parker stuff. Like, even though it is set like properly in the time that it came out, like it's in the 2000s or whatever, like he feels super like 1960s or like 70s Spider-Man to me. Like you're talking about, he still says shit like, gee, like thanks pal, or whatever. You know, like it just
Tally ho.
yeah, it just works though. Like it works for this version of him, I think, because like
I think Toby delivers it really well.
100%, man. Like he does a great job of like the because what I like is that like I don't think that I feel like it's easy to say like, oh, Peter Parker's nerdy, right? Which he is, right? Because he's like obviously super intelligent and all that shit or whatever. But I feel like the quirkiness that he has as a character is not like introverted necessarily. It's just that he's got like a blabbermouth.
Yeah.
And sometimes he says the
probably a
wrong
little
shit.
socially anxious at times too. You know?
Yeah. But like, I don't think Peter Parker's ever been like, oh, hey guys, like, oh, sorry, excuse me or whatever. You know, like he always speaks his mind. Peter's a sassy motherfucker.
Yeah.
It's just that sometimes the shit that comes out is goofy and doesn't make any sense because he's awkward.
Yeah. The scene that really hit me like this time, like, as a grown up and watching this, was the scene when Uncle Ben drives him to the library when Peter's trying to go to the wrestling match so he can get the money to get a car. And, Uncle Ben's just trying to have this talk with him, and like just the way they both deliver the lines, like Uncle Ben, giving him that like fatherly talk.
Yeah.
And Toby being like the angsty kind of like teenager that like just doesn't want to like hear this shit. Like I thought, like, for as cheesy as some of the stuff that Toby can do in the movie, at that point when it's a very serious scene that calls for, very strong, very serious acting, like he fucking gives it, bro.
Yeah,
he's awesome. I was like, damn, like yeah, like this fool can be kind of like funny or whatever, but like this is fucking up there with,
Yeah, he's a great actor. I think he like, and we see that obviously in a lot of the other stuff that he does later, right? Like when he does take on more serious roles. But it is cool to see like the little flashes of that in this. And yeah, it's heavy, bro. That those lines are just good too, because like we as the audience already know what's going down, right? Like we know this is their last conversation, so it like makes it hit all the harder, right? When he says like, what does he say to him? He's like, Uncle Ben's like, nah, I know I'm not your father. And like Peter just cuts him off. He's like, stop pretending to be. It's like,
yeah. Well, then stop pretending to be.
like,
Yeah.
oh,
Like, fuck, dude.
damn it, Pete. That's the last thing you ever said to Uncle Ben, I guess, buddy. But okay. Yeah, good shit, man. Heavy.
And fucking Macho Man, bro, does such a good fucking job.
That shit was hilarious.
He's just so funny and like yeah, like I don't like his character is just so good. Even like the little things like
yeah,
I got you for 3 minutes. 3 minutes of playtime. You know,
dude,
like it's so good.
Yeah.
Like it's fits so well in the movie. It doesn't feel like forced or anything. Like
No.
he's just being him.
Yeah.
And it works perfectly.
That's the thing that I love about this first one so much is that like everything in the movie is the most classic version of Spider-Man that you could ask for, but it doesn't make any apologies for it, and it doesn't try to make any excuses. It doesn't try to like ground it in any way. They're like, nope, this is Spider-Man's world. This is Spider-Man's New York. This is how it is. Like, just get on board and let's go with it. Because like I like that. Yeah, like that's one thing I think this trilogy has over the other two, or I guess the Andrew Garfield only had the 2 movies or whatever. Was that the second time you heard that noise?
Yeah.
Is there no doors open?
No.
Yeah, that came twice right now. Bro, something's in the air today. There's for sure a 420 ghost.
There was something in the air that night. The stars so bright.
Fernando. But fuck, what was I saying? God dang it. That noise hella threw me off.
Being ultimately Spider-Man and not being apologetic.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I think that's one thing that this movie has over the other 2 iterations of it is that, like, I think Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man, you know, kind of had to be, at least with its first movie, a little more, like, dark. Because it came out the same year that, like, Dark Knight Rises did, right? And, like, that was, again.
It might be, like, over there or something.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, but like, you know, that was a different time, I think. Like superhero movies in general were not all the way back to like the cheese that we have now again, you know? And obviously Tom Holland stuff is in the MCU, which is like trying to have cool science explanations for everything all the time, and like it's still cheesy, but like there's reason behind it, so it's okay. And this is just like, nope. Peter Parker got bit by a spider, and now he's Spider-Man. And everybody in his world is a colorful character because it's a comic book movie. Who cares? Don't worry about it. It's fine.
Yeah.
It works great, dude. It's awesome.
Yeah, this trilogy definitely has like the strongest like core Spider-Man principles and characteristics, you know, all the way down to like, yeah, from like the quippy things he says, like the jokes and stuff like that, but also to like the friendships that he has, like with Harry, the relationships that are built from the beginning that you see go through their ups and downs throughout the trilogy. Yeah. Whereas like with the Andrew Garfield one, like we were talking about, like on the way back from San Jose or whatever. Like in the second one, like Harry gets introduced and it's just like, oh yeah, we've been best friends for like a long time, blah blah blah, and it's just like, okay, like obviously from the previous Spider-Man trilogy, we know like they're best friends, but like within the world, we never got to see like the relationship build to where we feel like any certain type of way at the end of Spider-Man 2, right? Like it's just kind of like, oh, they've been best friends and there you go, you guys gotta just like deal with it. Whereas like this, like we see it from beginning to end, we see how it grows in the second movie and then the third movie, and I think Tom Holland Spider-Man does that with Ned and stuff like that.
Yeah, Ned's a great best friend character, but he's not Harry though.
Yeah, he's not Harry.
Yeah.
So
I was thinking about that last night actually, because I started Spider-Man 2 again. Okay. Because I just needed my Spider-Man fix, and like I was wondering, because I think what it has to do with is that there's like hints of Harry Osborn in like the first game, and they talk about him a bunch, obviously, but like it's the same thing. He just shows up in Spider-Man 2. Yeah. But that relationship's way better. Like that's my favorite version of Harry Osborn in like media stuff.
They do more stuff as like friends and best friends to get
Yeah,
you to believe
'cause
that
they
they
hang
have
out.
been best friends.
They
Whereas
ha-
like the second one,
They just like skip rocks once.
yes, they skip rocks and maybe there's like a montage of them like doing things like here and
Yeah.
there, but it's just like nothing for us as the audience to like really hold on to or
Yeah.
like relate to and like get attached to.
Yeah.
You know,
I
so.
think they also just kind of messed up with like I mean, not to harp on it too much. We'll get there. These are all coming out, so we'll talk about it. But like, I just didn't like that version of Harry Osborn either, and I think the actor was wrong to play him. He just felt like kind of creepy to me.
Creepy and just like very like just mad, you know.
Yeah, like it was just too much. Like there was no. I feel like to a certain extent, a good version of Harry Osborn has to be somewhat charming, like at least nice a little bit. You know, he could still be a spoiled brat or this or that or whatever, but like he has to be like a good friend to Peter.
Yeah.
Like it's his best fucking friend, and Peter's a good person, so like he has to see something in Harry, you know.
Yeah. He's just like, Peter, I'm dying.
Yeah, and he's like, you take pictures of Spider-Man, right? Give me his blood. Super weird.
Give me his blood,
Yeah.
man.
I did see this funny like little like side-by-side picture of the first movie, Spider-Man 1.
Uh-huh.
Like Goblin like busts into Jonah's office and is like, the photographer who takes pictures of Spider-Man, who is he? And then like somebody showed like a still image of like a newspaper earlier in the movie, and it's like pictures taken by Peter Parker.
Yeah,
on the
that's
bottom.
funny. Hey, honestly, for as much shit as people give Jonah for his feelings towards Spider-Man or whatever,
He's a real
or how
one.
much of an asshole he can be,
He's a real
he
one.
is a real one for being like, hey, I don't know who fucking takes pictures of these
Yep.
guys. Like, I swear, you know?
Dude, that's one of the best parts about like that relationship that I think none of the movies have really explored, just because they don't have the time to. But like Jonah and Peter's relationship is honestly awesome.
Yeah. And that little part is something that'll very much like go over your head if you
Yeah.
don't really like pay attention
Yeah.
to like, oh, damn, this dude could have easily just sold out fucking Peter.
Yeah,
And Peter was literally just
Right
fucking there,
yeah.
you know? Like
protecting the kid.
yeah,
though.
so that was, you know.
Yeah, now Jonah's a good guy. He's got a hard shell, and he's very ignorant and has some crazy opinions.
But on the flip side, Mary Jane was always a cheater from the first
in the
movie.
beginning. Yeah, she's dating Harry and kisses Spider-Man, and it's like falling in love with Peter throughout the entire movie.
And just like never really like seems like she actually likes Harry, you know? Like they're at the parade or whatever, like that freaking that the Oscorp like throws every year or something like that.
Yeah.
And he like leans in to kiss her, and she like hella like turns away, and I'm like, damn, aren't you guys like dating? Like,
You know, I will say though, Harry seems like an asshole.
he does for sure.
Because Harry, like the first thing he says even before that is like he's criticizing her. He's like, "Why didn't you wear the black dress? I wanted
100%.
you to impress my
100%.
father." And
True.
she's like,
100%.
"Don't you think he'll be impressed either way?"
Yeah.
And then she's like, "Nah, fuck you, bro."
Yeah, true.
Yeah, fuck
Very
that.
true.
Like,
Very
Harry's
true.
an asshole in
He
this
is.
shit for sure.
He
That
is.
was one thing that hit me very different this time. Was I was like, "Damn, Harry's like pretty spoiled brat like vibes in this first one for sure." Like later after that shit, he's like on the phone with her, like all crybaby, and that's a funny scene too, right? Because like he's like, "Incredible." What do you mean he's incredible? And you just see Toby in the back, and he's like, like all fucking smiling to himself and shit.
True. Well, granted, like, not that this is any excuse for like Harry being an asshole, but like his dad, anytime Peter's around, like very much goes out of his way to be like, Peter, you're fucking awesome.
You're great, bro. Yeah.
If you need anything, let me fucking know. Peter, you're like another son to me.
Yeah,
Like,
seriously, yeah.
Peter, wow, you won the science award? That's fucking awesome.
The
And
science,
Harry's
just the
like,
science award.
Yeah, Harry's just like, bro, I just fucking graduated too. Like, what's up?
Dude, the one that's messed up is like when I think it's like the first time they're like at the apartment all together or whatever. And fucking it's right when Peter gets fired.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Hey Pete, you're probably looking for a job, right? Like maybe my dad can." He's like, "No, I couldn't, blah blah blah." He's like, "You want to make it on your own, Steve. I respect that." It's like your kid who's riding your coattails is right there, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah, fucking, yeah. Mr. Osborn is not a good dad.
I was gonna say Norman's also like, I think his performance as the Green Goblin is also obviously iconic and very good. Like honestly, really, really good. But when he's just being Norman Osborn, I think he does a good job. It was fun for me to see this movie like again, because I feel like a lot of the times that we've seen him in like recent media, he's kind of like he is an asshole still, but he's like a somewhat sympathetic character. Yeah. You know, like you kind of feel bad for him in No Way Home, because he's like tripping out and is like barely getting back to business and stuff or whatever, right? And then like I feel like the Spider-Man games make him a somewhat sympathetic character because of Harry.
Mm-hmm.
But like Norman is evil, bro. Like, not forget the Green Goblin. Like, Norman Osborn is just an evil, conniving motherfucker who on his own could tear apart Peter Parker's life.
Yeah.
And I like that he is kind of that way in this movie, that like, you know, he's talking shit about people. He's like making crazy plans. Like, if somebody's trying to take his company away, he's like, cool, I'm just gonna kill you guys then, fuck you. Like, I love that shit, dude. He's just evil to the core, man. It's good shit.
My favorite scene of like Norman / the Green Goblin is probably the scene when he's talking to himself through the mirror.
100%. It's the best.
So fucking good, dude.
It's incredible.
Like, it's like
the one that's the craziest is like, because at first there's kind of like cuts, right, where like they're like going back and forth between the two different angles, and it's good because like in the mirror his hair part is like on one side, and then in the regular one it's on the other, so it like helps to just like differentiate the two. But then the one that's crazy is like, it's a one shot and he's like walking towards the thing like in the goblin mode, and he shows him like the newspaper, and then he turns around towards the camera to look at it as Norman, and like, bro, the change in that turn alone is just like ridiculous, dude. He's inhabiting two different characters. It's insane.
Yeah, fucking Willem Dafoe's just
crazy with it.
He might be top 5 for sure. Like, that fool's just has so much range, can do so much shit. Like,
for sure. I think especially at this era of like the last 20 years, like he's done a lot of good shit, dude. He's been amazing.
And he's like still doing amazing shit, and he's freaking hella old right now.
And what's cool about him too is that like he's doing like tons of shit across the board, you know? Like, whereas other people in like, you know, a top 5, top 10, whatever situation might be your heavy hitters, like a Leo.
Dude, what's good?
Yeah. What's good? Something's happening, man. Something's happening, bro.
Maybe I'll put it on the other outlet. I don't know. Maybe it's the outlet.
Could be.
That's crazy.
But yeah, like other folks who are in conversations for that stuff, I feel like, you know, they're big movie stars, and so they do like big budget projects and things like that. But like, you see Willem Dafoe in like indie movies all the time, and like, I mean, Wes Anderson is obviously like famous, but I feel like they're like low budget kind of, you know, not low budget, but not like a Marvel movie or some shit like that where it's millions of billions of dollars and shit. It's hot? Yeah. Oh, dang. Maybe it's overpowering it. It's overheating and shorting it out or something. That sounds like something an electrician would say. It's overheating and shorting out. It's all fried on the end or what?
No, like this is like watch film.
Let me see. Oh, that is hella warm. Yeah, that's scary. It's gonna.
Yeah, probably just have it unplugged for a little bit.
Yeah, give it some time to cool down at least.
Sorry for the inconsistent lighting.
Yeah, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
It's not the worst thing that's ever happened.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's some going on right now, man. There's for sure. Yeah, there's for sure something in the air.
420 spirit.
420 espíritu.
But yeah, what would you rate a Spider-Man 1?
Spider-Man 1?
Yeah.
Probably like 10 out of 10. Because this thing, the thing about it for me is that like anything that would be considered like outdated or cheesy or like whatever you want to call it, that's the stuff I love. Yeah. So, you know, that's always the disclaimer that I give, is that I love cheesy stuff, so it hits better for me. But yeah, 10 out of 10, dude. It was awesome.
Yeah. That shit is great, man. I can't disagree with that, honestly.
I think
like,
it's also just nostalgic for us, too.
Yeah. We grew up on that. Like, that was one of, like, the first movies I ever remember, like...
Yeah, for sure.
Idolizing, and, like, the first superhero was like, fuck, Spider-Man's the fucking best, dude. Yeah. So... It's pretty fucking great, man. Pretty fucking great.
I'm excited to go see the rest of them. I'm probably most excited for next week because 2 is going to be crazy.
What days is it on?
I think it's Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I don't think I can do Thursday.
I was going to say, I just remembered that right now. Yeah. We can do Tuesday.
I'm down for whatever.
I'm down for that, yeah.
But yeah, Spider-Man, if you guys have a chance to go see, the OG Sam Raimi Spider-Man
Yeah.
in theaters, I would highly recommend it.
Most definitely.
Highly recommend it.
Check your local theaters.
Check your local listings today.
Yeah, that's not super like widespread, like you were saying. Like we had to go to San Jose just to catch it, and then even then there wasn't very many days. It's like only 2 days out of the week.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That part's kind of annoying, but it is what it is.
I feel you.
That's because they're marathoning all of them, you know. So it's already gonna be like, what, 8 weeks of Spider-Man movies as it is.
Oh, they're doing all of them?
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
So you get that's 3, and 2. Yeah, so 8 altogether. So for the next 8 weeks, there'll just be Spider-Man movies.
Wow, 2 months of Spider-Man. That's awesome.
And then the Star Wars ones are gonna start in May.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, crazy.
Fuck yeah.
I was talking to Nate, dude. They need to do Lord of the Rings next. I want to go
yeah.
watch the Lord of the Rings trilogy in theaters.
The director's cuts.
I'd be down as long as they were separate. You know.
Yeah.
I'll do it. Fuck it.
Fuck yeah.
Return of the King would be hard, but
How long is that one?
I think it's like almost 5 hours.
That's great.
It's like 4
Yeah.
something. I think it's like 4:40 something.
That's like fucking. That's like a day of work where you like go home early, you know.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly.
Damn.
That's a lot. That's like it's crazy. Yeah.
But fuck it, man.
It is what it is.
Do you want to update on some rap beef? On what's
I
going
heard
down?
some stuff had gone down. So
Yes.
Yeah.
So let's see. Last episode we left off with, I'm pretty sure, J. Cole's apology.
Yeah. Yep.
The apology heard around the world. So since then, Drake has dropped 2 diss tracks.
Okay.
2 diss tracks, and
Okay.
Kendrick has not dropped one at all.
Were they both back towards Kendrick?
So let's rewind a little bit. Let's do a little bit of history, right?
Right.
So first album that Metro and Future dropped was "We Don't Trust You."
Okay.
That was where the Kendrick Lamar diss came from.
Uh-huh.
Then we had the apology from then we had 7 Minute Drill from J. Cole, which was a diss towards Kendrick.
Yeah.
Then we had J. Cole apologizing a day later at his Dreamville Fest.
Uh-huh.
It's not my spirit, man. I couldn't do it. Again, respect you as a person, but as a hip hop fan, I don't like it. And then we had Future and Metro drop their second album called "We Still Don't Trust You," and on there we had features from The Weeknd.
Okay.
We had features from A$AP Rocky.
Mhm.
He had features from fucking who else was on there? Because I remember, I know it was A$AP Rocky. I know it was The Weeknd. I can't remember if Rick Ross was on there and said something. But anyways, there was like a few people on that album that also dissed Drake as well.
Oh, okay.
So it was like hella people just started ganging up on Drake, right? It was just hella people against Drake. So then there's a track that leaked, which was an apparent Drake diss track, right? First, this is an AI diss track made by AI.
Oh, okay.
But it was never discredited. It was never like, oh no, like this is AI, blah, 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 blah. It was like, that was just the initial rumor, like when it came out. Like it leaked, and then people were like, oh, this must be AI, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Because Drake would never just like leak it. He would drop it, blah, blah, whatever. Okay. Turned out to be real.
Okay.
The song is called Push Ups. It is out on streaming platforms now.
Okay.
Pretty fucking good.
Okay.
He goes at Kendrick. He goes at Metro. He goes at Future. He goes at Rick Ross. He goes at The Weeknd. I don't think he touches on like A$AP or anything like that. So it's like a song where he's dissing like a good like 6, 7 people.
That group that just dissed him.
It was pretty crazy because he starts off the song with, "I can never be nobody's number one fan. Your first number one, I had to put it in your hand." Talking to Future. Future on the "We Don't Trust You" album had a song where he goes, "You was my number one fan, dog," blah, blah, shit like that. So it's Drake flipping the line, being like, dude, I can never be nobody's number one fan. Your first number one, I had to put it in your hand. Which is what happened. Future's first number one was Drake. The Way Too Sexy, and it had Drake, and it was featuring Drake, right? And then he makes other comments about Kendrick, and like the first shot he throws is how can you be a big stepper with the size 7 men's on? Talking about his last album, Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, and he's just like, bro, you're hella small. Like how you calling yourself a big stepper when you're hella small, right? Like a trademark of Drake. Like that shit's just hella funny, and like I was like, okay, this is pretty funny. And then he has And then more of the track is about, like, the reason it's called Push-Ups, he is saying drop and give me 50, and that's a double entendre of, one, there's videos of Kendrick where he's just like in a park, like just doing push-ups or whatever. And then, and it's what it's mainly about is, cause like the lines where he uses it in, he'll say like, Top says drop and give me 50. Top being his, the owner of TDE. So being his label manager who Kendrick was signed to since Section 80. And the 50 being like, okay, drop an album and I'll get 50% of your profits or whatever, which, yeah, that's crazy. But honestly, like, as a new artist, if you're getting like out the gate, like your label is giving you half,
that's a lot
like,
of money.
That's a lot. That's a lot, right? So not too bad, but it's a nice like little jab of like, look, you got to drop an album and homie that signed you is getting fucking half of what you're fucking getting, right? So that was a lot of it. Drop and give me 50. Drop and give me 50. And then just like, it was just a lot of jabs about that, blah, blah, blah. So everyone was like, damn, Kendrick's got to come back. In the meantime, since Rick Ross got mentioned in the song, he dropped a diss track, which is kind of whatever. It's okay. Not the greatest. But in the song, he alluded to Drake getting a nose job and not saying anything about it, which I think is just fucking hilarious. And then also commenting on like the fact that he has like, he like makes a comment of like, how do you have a 6-pack with 25% body fat? Like, you know, just making a comment about like him getting also work done like on his abs and shit like that, blah, 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 which I thought was hella funny. Drake really didn't take that too serious. He kind of like made a couple posts about it, like on Instagram, just like talking shit about Rick Ross. Rick Ross was talking shit about him, calling him white boy and stuff like that, which I thought was pretty funny, calling him BBL Drizzy, which was pretty hilarious. But like nothing too crazy. And then last night, I'm playing Warzone, going on Instagram. Champagne Poppy, who is Drake, posts. And it's, you know, when you download a song, when you put a song on your phone and you press play and it's the WAV file, it's that. He posts that, and then it says, in the meantime, while we wait.
Oh, nice.
Waiting for Kendrick, right? And it's another diss track. This time, he wrote 3 verses, right? So it's a whole song as a diss track towards Kendrick. The first 2 verses, he used like an AI voice filter to make himself sound like Tupac, and then make himself sound like Snoop Dogg. Whoa. So it's pretty fucking crazy. Like ethically, like I don't know how I feel about that, but in terms of like what he's saying in the songs, like he's talking from the perspective of Tupac and being like, come on Kendrick, like drop a diss song, like tell this dude what's up, call this light-skinned dude a bitch for me, like that would be great, like talk about how he likes fucking young women or but whatever, blah blah blah, like that shit would be funny, blah blah blah, and shit like that. So like kind of like egging him on from the perspective of the people that he like looks up to, and also sounding like the people that he looks up to. So the first 2 verses, first one Tupac, second one Snoop Dogg, and then the last one is Drake, and he's honestly like, he was going pretty fucking crazy. He was going pretty fucking crazy. And just talking shit about like, yo, what's up, dog? Like, I dropped a diss track and what, you got to wait a week. And I've, you know, the first one took me an hour. Like this next one is like nothing. Like, and now this next one's going to really show like people like your true colors. Cause you say you're the boogeyman, but look at, I'm fucking out here dropping and we're still waiting on you. Like what, Taylor Swift drop and you had to wait for Taylor Swift to drop so you could go and fucking drop your diss track. Like what, that's what's up. So now Taylor Swift is your new top dog. You got to wait for her to fucking say something to drop. That shit's crazy. And so like just saying like, here, I'll just give this to you guys like while we wait, blah, 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 blah. Egging him on to drop a diss track. A diss track is for sure going to come from Kendrick. I don't know when.
I assume it does.
But
that's crazy. I wonder how that works too, because like, I'm sure. Well, how did he drop? Is he making money off of it?
No, I don't think he is, because it was just an Instagram post. Of like, he literally just screen recorded him pressing play on his song or whatever, and then just dropped it on Instagram.
Yeah, because you probably could ask, right? Like obviously Snoop, and then I'm sure there's some kind of estate that you could figure out with like Tupac stuff. But as long as you're not making money off of it, I don't think it matters. Nothing they could do about it anyway. You know, what are they gonna do? Sue him for an Instagram post? No.
I was on Instagram and I follow this page called Earn Your Leisure, where it's guys talking about like, you know, stocks and blah blah blah, all the shit business, right? And he was saying that this could be part of like a bigger rollout, because apparently Drake has like ownership in like a music AI company.
Oh, so it's like an advertisement kind of?
It could possibly be like, it
Okay.
could be like a lead up to something bigger where
Yeah.
he's like, look, I dropped this diss track
And like, this is what I used for it.
and this is what I used for it. This is like my
Interesting.
$1 billion fucking company, blah, 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 blah.
Don't really like the idea of a musician like promoting music AI, but maybe it is a rumor. So.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, dude, these 2 diss tracks are pretty fucking crazy.
Crazy.
Like the push-ups one is okay. Like it's not like my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
It is really good. But I wish it was definitely more like future Kendrick centered.
Mm-hmm.
Like it kind of loses me when he starts talking about like The Weeknd and Rick Ross and all these people, because like, bro, you don't really need to. Like you don't really need to.
Yeah,
acknowledge
that's
them.
not what everybody wants.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's not who everybody's paying attention to.
Exactly.
At least, yeah.
Granted, most of it was about Kendrick, but
Not enough. Though.
the second one was just what was fucking crazy.
Well, that's what you want, right?
Yeah.
It's the 2 of them going back and forth at each other. Like, I mean, you know, you have to defend yourself if somebody else is talking shit for sure. So, you know, I guess he got it out of the way.
It's just crazy because like this is exactly what happened when Drake got into it with like Meek Mill.
Oh,
Like I think Meek Mill sent a shot, and then Drake came out with Charged Up, and then immediately came out with Back to Back like a few days later.
Oh, okay.
And like Back to Back went fucking crazy. So this is like a Back to Back part 2 almost,
okay,
where it's just like boom, dissed you once, boom,
Second one.
diss you again before you can even get anything
It's a
out.
1-2 punch. Bro.
Yeah, and it was just like it was crazy. I would probably put his second one up there with like some of his better diss tracks for sure.
Dang.
Cause like it's just like it's the polarization of it too. Like it's very polarizing to like hear him post something and like the first verse sounds like Tupac.
Yeah.
And like,
yeah,
but
yeah.
if you listen to like the flow and the words and like his cadence and stuff like that, it's for you can tell
it's
Drake,
yeah,
you know.
Yeah.
And then even like just again like doubling down and being Snoop Dogg and being like fuck, like this is crazy.
That
then
part's
just
crazy.
and then coming on as yourself and
Yeah.
then tearing it up again, and I'm just
Yeah.
like, bro, fuck, this is nuts, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd probably put up there with like Duppy Freestyle is one of my favorites for sure. One of my favorites because that's when he goes at Pusha T and also Kanye West.
Dang.
And yeah, he like Drake is just very good at like wordplay and he's a very good rapper, and I feel like a lot of people don't give him the props for that because it can get lost in like his like catalog of like more poppy R&B-ish like records, but like when it comes down to it and dude needs to rap, like he raps his fucking ass off.
He can do it.
Yeah, like in Duppy Freestyle, I think the first line, like the beat's already fucking crazy, and he says like he like, if you rebuke me for working with someone on a couple of these, what do you really think of the dude that's making your beats? Talking to Pusha T about Kanye West.
Oh, okay.
And then immediately goes in like, I had to do things for that dude I thought I never would need. Father had to stretch his hands out just to get it for me. Father stretched my hands being a Kanye West song.
Oh, okay.
So that dude had to come to me, stretch his hands out, and ask me to do shit to give him a fucking hit.
Yeah.
And then he goes, I pop style for 30 hours and let him repeat. Pop style being one of Drake's songs. 30 hours being another song that Drake wrote for Kanye. Being like, look, you come and ask me to do my thing. I do my thing for you, and I do it, and then you just take my shit. Like, you know, and like no one ever talks about that and stuff like that.
Yeah,
and like
yeah.
that, like I was playing that in the lead up to when I thought the
Yeah.
suspected Kendrick and Drake diss tracks were
coming out.
and I was just like, fuck, bro, like if Pusha T wouldn't have come back with an even more polarizing diss track, The Story of Adidon, where he's like telling everybody that this fool has a kid that no one's ever heard about.
Yeah, that one's crazy.
Like that, like that's such a good fucking song. Like Duppy Freestyle is such a good fucking song, and I think it's probably a better song than Story of Adidon. But again, like
It was just a shock value.
it was just the shock value of it, and like, man, Drake's just a crazy one, bro. Again, like he's good. I still think Kendrick is gonna come out and do some crazy shit. But fuck, dude.
What happened? What if he just stays silent? What if he just doesn't do?
I don't know, bro. I don't know what I would think after that.
Yeah.
You know, because like
If that's what
you stirred it up, like you stirred up the pot.
I was gonna
like,
say, if that's the move you wanted to make, it's too late to make it now.
exactly.
Of like staying silent because you don't need to do this shit or whatever because you already took a jab.
He got a pass when J. Cole apologized. Now he doesn't get a pass. He's got to like triple down.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
You just let this man release 2 really good fucking diss tracks in the span where you could have at least released one.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
a response. But fuck, I don't know. I'm scared.
Crazy.
I'm scared for my man, bro. I'm scared for my man, honestly, because Drake's killing it, dude. Like I I gotta give credit. You know, I gotta give credit where credit's due. You know, if he's killing it, he's killing it, dude.
Yeah. Fuck Drake.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just had to throw it in there.
No, respect.
I had to.
But yeah, that's what's been going down in the world of hip hop rap beef.
Crazy. I'm excited to see where it goes. I think it's fun to like absorb it through osmosis because like Meaty talks about it from time to time. Obviously, we've had a couple little discussions on it and stuff. I feel like I'm excited to just be like a bystander, you know?
Yeah.
Absorbing from the sides.
It's just crazy. It's just, yeah. It's an interesting beef. Peter Rosenberg put it best on their Hot 97 show, where like the reason Kendrick and Drake are beefing with each other, and this could not be real, but just from his perspective, and for me it like kind of makes sense, is like they each are respectively known for something that the other wants to be known for. So like Kendrick is like the rap golden child. Yeah. And is always like revered as the best rapper, blah 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 blah. And Drake always wants to be accepted into that. Not that I know he does, but from what I feel like, he really does want to be accepted as like an elite top tier rapper. Yeah. And like people just don't give him that. Yeah. Right. Where on the flip side, Drake is just this ultra pop star, dude. And he's probably one of the biggest rappers ever that's ever gonna exist. You know. Has 13 number one hits, has more than the fucking Beatles, has more than fucking Michael Jackson, you know? Like, correlation is not causation, but at some point, the lines, you know, do meet up somewhere, right? At a certain point. I know, I know how you feel. I know how you feel. But to me, I don't think, like, number one hits means someone's great, right? Yeah. Someone can just run into one, right? People run into that shit all the time. We see one-hit wonders all the fucking time. But at a certain point, if you're pumping them out, there is something there, right?
You got the formula down. That's what I'll say. That's what the number one hit is. It's a formula. But it's opinion. It's opinion. We don't have to get into it. But no, I get what you mean. But that is I like that perspective on it too. Because that also just like, if that is true, that just adds to like the juice of like the drama between the two of them, because it's like, damn, they're only fighting because, like you said, they just both want what the other one already has, you know. Which is crazy. That's good lore for the beef. I like it.
Yeah, and like Kendrick has like 2, maybe 3 like certified like classic albums. I don't think people can put like, because Drake has so many albums, right, and puts out so much music, it's hard to put like a finger on like, this is his classic, like sure, yeah. Maybe Take Care, because that's his first one and was like the one, but like I don't know, like I can't,
it's just the whole catalog.
There's just, the whole catalog is like very consistent. It's hard to put your finger on like, oh yeah, this is the classic, whereas like with Kendrick, it's like, oh, Good Kid Mad City, that's a fucking classic. To Pimp a Butterfly, that's easily a top 5 for sure. Like people could say the same thing for Damn, right? Like the writing on that is good, and that his more like stab at a more commercialized album, something that
like
isn't
the most popular one, right?
Exactly. And he's fucking like, he has pop shit on there, like he does his shit with Rihanna that's fucking really really fucking good, you know. So I don't know. It's a very interesting back and forth. Yeah. 2 of my favorites. 2 of the best.
I'm excited to see how it plays out.
It's like Rocky versus Apollo at the end of Rocky 3.
Just a sparring match, bro.
It is. It is. And we may never know who wins, right? That's Kendrick may come out with some crazy shit that we're like, damn, like that was fucking hard.
It might just keep going forever.
Exactly.
Until they're old men.
Maybe this is like a rollout for them to like go on tour. Like maybe Kendrick's gonna drop a couple things, and then after they're gonna be like, oh, we were just fucking around, like, or they make up, and then they're like, hey, we're gonna fucking on tour together. The Big 2 tour or whatever, you know, just exclude J. Cole after that. He'd
be sad about apologizing. If that was the case. Should have just held out a little longer.
Dude, because if J. Cole could have held out like longer, right? They could have just done the Big 3 tour, and they all could have gone on fucking tour. That would be crazy. You could charge however much you want for those tickets, and people will fucking buy them.
Yeah, they unfortunately would, yeah.
Because it's like, how often do you get 3 of the biggest megastars like in a respective genre, like performing together?
Yeah, doesn't really happen a lot.
Maybe 2, but 3?
Probably because it's too expensive.
Yeah.
Because whoever had to put them on tour probably wouldn't be able to afford all 3 of them. No. Unless they just decided to do it like on their own and they were going to like fund their own shit or whatever.
How would you even do like a 3-way like show tour like that? Because it's like, 2 is relatively more simple, right? You can have one go first.
I would imagine if that was the case, it would probably be, in my head, if they made up, it would be that J. Cole would open for like an hour, and then I would say Drake, but maybe you could switch him because Drake arguably has the better hits, right? But one of the other two would go next for like an hour and a half, and then the third one goes for an hour and a half, and then the last like whatever section of it is just all of them doing shit together. But you just line them up. Obviously, J. Cole goes first.
Yeah.
And then it's up to you on like who goes second and third after that, But yeah, you just line them up like you would anything else. It's just that like even your openers are going to be bangers.
Yeah.
You don't just have to wait for the headliners for it to be some shit,
Yeah. It's just tough because like all 3 of those are certified like legitimate headliners. They could headline anywhere and people are going to go and watch them as the headliner.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
It's very rare you have 3 headliners on a fucking...
Yeah, that's true. On a bill,
Boom.
man.
Yeah.
No, it's true.
That'd be crazy.
It would be too expensive, though. I feel like you would probably spend more than you would spend on a Coachella ticket for that concert.
Probably.
Yeah. And it'd be like a one-night thing. You're not even getting the whole shit.
But fuck. It's one of those things, right, where it's like...
People would still go.
Because when is that ever going to happen again,
Yeah. Yeah, the thing that makes me sad about that shit nowadays is like when I hear stories of like people who went to go watch the greats that like I'm a fan of like decades ago. My dad was paying like $35 for a ticket to go see like Led Zeppelin.
And that was probably like, dang, we got to pay $35.
But no, not in comparison to fucking like $250, $300 for a ticket, bro. Like that's insane, dude. Like that's what bums me out. Is it's like, and I will say this is like, in shows nowadays, especially like big time stars like that, who, like you said, are like certified headliners, you're getting like a pretty big spectacle a lot of the time. Like they got the fire shit up there and lights and probably some crazy like screen in the back that's like doing all kinds of trippy dippy shit and stuff like that. But like, that's a lot of money still.
Yeah.
If a ticket costs as much as like a payment for your car, or like, even if like even worse, sometimes it costs as much as like a payment for like a house or rent. Like that's kind of insane to me. But
yeah,
spend your money how you want.
I can't justify spending like
over
the 100 maybe like 50.
I'll say 200
is
for
like
me.
Pushing it.
Yeah, like for like I would like I don't know, like a Bruno Mars or like a Taylor Swift or like even like a Drake or whatever. I could see. Or like a Bad Bunny, right? Like I could see somebody spending $200 on a ticket. But the thing is like that gets you shit seats.
That's what I was gonna bring up is like I can't justify the $200 on a shit seat.
No, if that was front row or like even just the floor section,
100%,
cool. But no, that's a bad seat way in the fucking back.
You have to be like, fuck.
Yeah,
I already wear glasses.
Yeah, you're gonna have to spend an extra $300 probably, maybe even more to get up to the front section of stuff. It's crazy.
Yeah, because like me, like I like to be in like a good distance where I can visually see what the fuck is actually like going on.
Yeah, you don't want to watch on the screens.
No,
you want to be able to see the actual show.
Yeah,
but yeah, bro, dropping $1,000 on just like at the very least, if that's what you're gonna do, set up your tour so that you're doing 2 back-to-back shows, and I get 2 shows out of that shit. Because $500 you're dropping $500, maybe more, maybe sometimes less, for 3 hours, more or less.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not, if that's what you want to do, and like, those experiences can be very impactful. I've had impactful experiences at concerts. So I'm not going to say that like it's not worth it. That's for you to decide. But just to me, that seems insane, bro. Like that's a lot of money.
Yeah, I can't.
It's a lot of money.
Again, like that makes sense for like a Coachella or like a Rolling Loud or something like that. Something
you get
where
to see
there's
people all weekend.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, for one night.
Yeah, and then some people do like VIP stuff or like meet and greets or whatever, and then you're dropping even more on that stuff. Like, I don't know. It's an industry, man. It's too much of an industry.
Yeah, I can't justify like meet and greets when like the artist is like crazy big, because like, yeah, that'd be cool, but like you're saying, like it's gonna be hella money.
It's gonna be hella money.
It's gonna be so much money. Now you're telling me like, oh, you're gonna pay this much. You'd pay. So now like you're putting a price tag on how much it would take for you to like meet someone. Like, oh, you'll pay someone X amount just to fucking meet them, just to shake their hand and say what's up.
Dude, that's it's a lot. It's crazy. I don't know.
But like yeah, I'll still pay for a meet and greet ticket, but it has to be within like a certain it has to make sense.
Yeah, that budget still is still there.
Like when I saw Isaiah Rashad the first time and I got meet and greet, I think I paid in total like $75-$85.
See, that's great. That's fine. That's perfect right there. That's a good deal. You get a good show and you get to say what's up afterwards. Less than $100.
Got to take a picture.
Yeah.
Got to say what's good.
See, that's good. That's fine. But yeah, dude, it is what it is. Like I said, it's just an industry.
Yeah.
And they're not going to be that rich and be able to show that lifestyle if they're not getting that money from somewhere. And a lot of the times I think artists get their stuff from tours.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Depending on what your deal is, you know?
Yeah, that's true. It does. But yeah, like you can make more money as an individual artist on tour than you probably can. At least if you're like signed with a record label, right? Like so much of that pie is going to be going to like a bunch of different people. Versus like tour, you could take a lot of ticket sales. You could do merch that whole time that you're on tour as well. You'd be racking it in, bro.
Yeah, I remember taking like a journalism class. And part of it, I forget what like project or what we were fucking doing, but our teacher was breaking down just like artists and their like deals. And this is back like, I think the graphics and all the numbers were from when like people actually were like part of a deal was like part of the budget for like your deal was like CDs and stuff like that. You know? Yeah. But it's just like that. I remember really like putting into perspective of like how fucked up deals are, because it's like a lot of the times, like if your album doesn't like do good, you're probably like owing money, right?
Yeah.
And then so you got to go on tour, and the stuff and the money that you would be getting from like your tour and stuff like that has to go back to the fucking to the label and shit, which is fucked up.
Yeah. And that's just like every industry in entertainment too. It's the same way it would be with a movie.
Yep.
Or like a book. If your book doesn't sell good, even, you know, like, because you have to have distributors, right? You have to have somebody to like do that part of it for you. I mean, you have examples of it now, right? Like, what's the homie's name who does like his backyard barbecues?
Oh, LaRussell?
Yeah. It's like you can do it, right? And like there was maybe it was also him, but like I remember sometime last year there was somebody who like posted how much they were making off of like just being on various different streaming sites, and like,
probably Russ too.
Yeah. So, and yeah, I think it was. So like there's examples of it being done, but I think that is still very much like, I feel like that's the new like one hit wonder. Well, maybe that's not a perfect example, but that's the new one in the million, you know, like your average artist who's like trying to just do things independently is probably not going to hit it that big. At least not without like 5, 6, maybe even a few more years of like build up to that, you know?
Yeah, it's something that's like easily accessible, right? Like anyone can go and like, okay, I'm going to buy a laptop, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to like make my music. But also you have to set aside like you have to give yourself the cushion of time to be like, okay, let me like get better at this too. Because it's going to like, if you want to do all that, like if you want to go the Russ route where he is very, I wouldn't say unique, but especially like nowadays, like when you're talking about people that are like when he was coming, he was making his own beats, he was writing his own songs, he was mixing, mastering, engineering, every single thing that he was doing. So everything that he was putting in, he was getting back himself because he was doing everything, right? And he was dropping a song a week for I don't know how fucking long, right? And like, yeah, that would be the most ideal way to do it, but it's also like probably one of the tougher ways to do it too, because like you have to get good at everything. Like you got to be able to know how to write a song. Right. That's already super hard.
You also have to if you're going to be churning it out like that, you have to turn that into like routine. Yeah. Right. Like you can't just let it be like spark of the moment, creative interest. Like that has to be work. Yeah.
You got to learn how to just write the words to a song, which is hard. You have to make the beat, which is hard, right? Takes time to learn how to do that.
At least it's hard to make a good one.
Exactly.
Both of those statements. It's hard to do a good version.
Exactly. Of that, Then you got to understand how, like, to just construct a song. Right? Like, I can make a beat. I can make a 4-bar loop beat. I can, write some words.
Yeah, but how do you arrange that into a song?
Exactly. How do you arrange that? That sounds interesting. That makes someone want to come back and keep listening
for
to that.
2.5 minutes, 3 minutes.
Okay, yeah. You got to do that, right? Yeah. Then you got to mix everything. That's fucking hard, right?
That's a whole nother science in itself.
You got to have such a good ear to do that shit. then you got to master everything. You're engineering everything as well as you're doing. When you're recording, you're doing all that. You got to learn how to fucking record.
Yeah.
Right. You can't just like, you can set up a mic and do that shit, but you got to understand like acoustics and how this is gonna sound and stuff like that. Blah blah blah. Equipment for that also like isn't like the cheapest. Right?
No, definitely not.
If you want
to sound quality.
Yeah. So you got to save up some money and fork out some money for yourself. In the long term, is it gonna be good for you because like the way Russ went, like he put stuff out on TuneCore and he gets a majority of all that back. Like like you're gonna get a nice return on that because like a majority of that is coming back to you. But it's gonna be a fucking long road and you got to be ready to fucking do all that shit.
Well, the other thing too is like you just have to be. That has to be what you want to do. Yeah. Like more than anything, I think, because like you're not gonna put in that amount of dedication or like hard work towards it if it's not like the one and only thing that like you think you can do. Exactly. Like that. And that's what I mean is it's like it's nice to have the idea that it is possible to do it, but again, it's very much the new 1 in a million thing, right? Of like back in the day when there wasn't as much access to like musicians around the world, like people who were coming together and like playing crazy music. That was like whatever, but they still those people still back then had to rely on, again, like engineers, producers, whatever, to do their shit because like they just couldn't do it. And like now that's like that's the new, I don't know how to say struggle, but like it's tough. You just have to dedicate time is what it is, because you're not going to learn those things like overnight necessarily. But the other thing too that I think about as well is that like I think you also have to get lucky in the sense that like you just need to have style and like something unique, which I think everybody does. There's no question about it in my mind that like everybody has something unique to offer. But what is difficult is figuring out how to like express that in any way. Like even if you're just talking to somebody, it's hard to do that. Yeah. Let alone in a fucking song that has to be catchy. Or a movie that has to be good or whatever it might be, right? But like that, I think, is what really sets apart the difference, because you will have people who learn how to do all of that shit and they are technically proficient at all of that stuff, but everything that they make sounds boring. Yeah. Because they don't have that it shit still, they don't have like the style or the uniqueness or something like, and that's that I don't think you can really train. No. You just have to get lucky on that one.
Say what you want about the man, but Dumbledore's got style.
Dumbledore's got style, bro. Exactly. Like, you can't buy that shit, man. You can't manufacture that shit. Like,
writing a song is a trip because it's like, it's walking a fine line of saying too much and not saying enough.
Yeah, that's what you have to, because you have to be expressive and clear enough that people understand where you're coming from in whatever your song is about. But for the most part, with like a few exceptions, people don't really like to be, at least in music, like you don't just explain exactly what it is. Yeah. Like with the exception of like the only thing that's coming to my mind right now is like some country songs. But most of the time you don't want to hear like "My girlfriend broke my heart" as like the lyrics of a song, like cheers. But yeah, again, with few exceptions, because I've heard some good country songs that'll just straight up be like, "Girl broke up with me last week and I'm back at the bottle drinking whiskey." And it's like, yeah, that's good. Like, that's fine. that works. But, Yeah. But yeah, it's a difficult road, man. It's some crazy shit. But, there's more access. So there's a lot. I think that's the other thing, too, is like I think there is a lot more stuff out there nowadays. It's just not as loud as everything else. And so that's what I always tell people who like, are like, "Oh man, I miss this type of music," or "I miss that type of music." It's like, well, there actually is somebody out there. It's probably some dude in like England or Australia or, some small country in like, somewhere or other who's like producing it. But there is somebody out there who authentically loves that music and is making that music. They're just not making crazy #1 chart hits and stuff like that, because that's not how really it works anymore.
It's needle in a haystack type stuff now, but even more so. Right?
Yeah, because there's so much. Like if you search far enough, you're gonna find something that you fuck with.
Oversaturated.
Yeah. Yeah. But that's just everything too. Every market, every industry that we have right now is just overload.
There's so much access to everything.
Yep.
I can literally start a fucking clothing company off my phone, right?
Yeah, you can.
People just do that shit.
It's easy. They have apps for that shit, like for you to get started in selling your shit. Like. God, that's like such an old thing to say, but it is true. Like they have an app for that. That reminds me of like a long time ago when like the iPhone first came out.
Oh yeah, they have an app for that.
They have an
Didn't
app
you
for
know?
that. Yeah, but it's true though. Genuinely nowadays, like the App Store is insane. Like I'll go on there every once in a while when I'm bored and like I want to like try to download like a new like iPhone game or something, just to like kill time when I'm bored, and like. It's a rabbit hole. Like it feels like the same black holes I get into like on YouTube or on Instagram or something where I'm like, dang, they have like a game for this, or like there's like games to have your brain turned off. There's games to have your brain turned on. So like you're using your shit. Like brain turned on is fine. But you know what I mean, right? It's like they have everything that you could ever want for. You want a runner where you don't have to do anything? Cool, you could do that. You want like a complex puzzle solving game? Like they have that on the other end too, and also everything in between. And then there's franchise stuff. You have like Temple Run clones that are like Spider-Man or like Disney property or this or that or whatever. It's like just as crazy. There's just as much shit out there, dude. It's insane. It's overload. It's crazy.
It is nuts. But you know what else is fucking crazy?
Which one?
Fucking X-Men 97, bro.
Let's do it. Okay, I have to use the bathroom really quick, but I am super ready to get into this shit, bro. Are we going to start... should we just talk about everything up to the mid-season? And then we could talk 6 too? Or are we just going to hit the latest stuff?
I think just the latest stuff, because honestly, it's been a while since I've watched the first 4 episodes.
Yeah.
But we can kind of just explain a little bit. You maybe can explain a little bit more, like, what the fuck has been going down. Because I did watch those first 4 episodes, but your boy doesn't have the greatest memory.
Oh,
so
dude, I'm hooked on this.